Good afternoon and welcome back. Today I'm actually out at back at Whakarewarewa Forest in Whakarewarewa, and I'm actually going to run something called RTRC Trail, which I think stands for the Whakarewarewa Trail Runners Club track. So it says it's only 12k, so it's not as if it's going to be too long, but it should be reasonably technical. And I've seen some of the, or at least I've seen the FKT, or the fastest known time, and that runs to about 2 hours. So I'm a little bit short of time, so it may not be a heaps of talking today, which is not necessarily a bad thing, and I'll try and get a few Ks under the belt. So, first wrong turn for the day. I assumed once I got out of the car park I was just going to head down to Blue Lake and sort of park the brain in neutral and miss the turn off to go up the hill basically. So I've just retraced my steps and now just taking a bit of time to catch my breath back. I'm actually feeling a bit rubbish actually, if I'm being honest. I've had the last week off running. I don't know if it's mentally just not quite there. Only 5 minutes in, puffing. Just feel like I'm a bit short of a gallop, to be honest. So I've got a few runs planned tomorrow, so also want to just have a blowout, which is why I headed out here. Anyway, enough of the whinging. Onwards, upwards. So this first bit's, yeah, it's quite steep actually. You can sort of see why there's comments in the wildthings.club trail directory about it being a bit gnarly and a bit brutal for the first part. I mean, it's nothing that's not manageable, but it's getting the lungs going, getting the legs, and there's quite a bit of tape here, both taping off various wrong turns, but also on the trees just to mark the way. Not that it's really needed, but helpful all the same. Just gonna crawl up here. Ooh, all right, I can run a bit. Nice one. Managed to get through that pretty steep bit and popped out on this, popped out on what I think's Tower Road. I think it's called Tower Road because I looked at my watch and it said Tower Road. So anyway, as you can see, it's a gravel road, old forestry road or new forestry road. This will speed things up a little bit. So I have a bit of a decision to make here. I think I'm supposed to go down there, but I might leave that for now. Just double check here. Just up here, there's that antenna thing that I was talking about. And maybe there's the views up here and I don't want to miss those. Certainly don't want to miss the views. So let's go and have a look. So I'm pretty sure I read somewhere New Zealand has one of the highest trapping rates in the world. Look, you've only got to come up here to actually really truly believe it, because you know, here's 3 down here. I would have passed, oh, I don't know, I'm not even paying attention. I would have passed 50, maybe 50 of them. Again, not a whole heap up here, so I'll just get back to where I was. Alright, so I'm going to go down to Whakarewarewa. There's actually some pretty half decent signs here, which is telling, giving some of the history of this place, and in this case they actually explain who Whakarewarewa was, and he was a tauhanga of the Tuhurangi iwi in the 1800s. And 5 days after the 86 Tarawera eruption, they excavated his buried house and found him still alive. unfortunately he died pretty soon after in hospital. After the doctors, who were ignorant of tikanga Māori, cut his hair. So maybe like Samson, it was the source of his strength. Anyway, let's get moving. So we've gone from a pretty gnarly track to a pretty sweet one here. It's a genuine mountain bike, so nice and smooth, and certainly could make some good fast times. I wanted to put the hammer down. Maybe I will. Yeah. Shit, maybe I won't. Going on here. Oh, orange marker. Surprisingly, most of this runs actually through native forest. I was expecting it to be through pine, but certainly isn't the case at all. Not surprisingly though, quite a lot of switchbacks, which when you're sharing the trails with mountain bikes makes sense, and also quite a lot of boardwalks. But the trail itself is very dry, and once I got to the top of the hill, yeah, easy gliding, really nice graded trail to run on, very enjoyable. So it's just been sped out off that nice trail just onto another forestry road amongst the hog and the pine, which was a bit more of what I was expecting. So I obviously spoke too soon in saying that it was all or mostly native. Pretty sure I ran this part when I was doing Black Circuit. Looks familiar, could be wrong. All these forestry roads look the same. Some of these cartographically, for someone who doesn't know where the hell they're going. Not quite sure what that has been behind me, but I'm going to try and look it up when I get home. But you downloaded an app which is, well, I think it's called Peak Visor or something like that, and that would be able to help me out. But I need to download the maps before I come out, and so that's a bit of a rookie mistake. First time I've used it, but it's generally, or at least what I was hoping to do, was use it more for tomorrow, where there's a bit more mountainous range. So I'm glad that I found out that now. So when I get back from this run, I'll make sure I do download the maps. So I'm about an hour and 10 minutes in, mostly downhill from here I think, probably reasonable running as well, so I don't know how much longer it's going to be, maybe 30-40 minutes, probably 50 minutes. Right, I'm going. Right, let's get into it. Have a lovely day, pretty enjoyable. It's a pity I don't know what all these various knolls or hills or mountains are called. I don't know if I'd call them mountains personally, but which is a pretty nice landscape. And that one I do know, because I think that's Mount Mamataha. Yeah, I've chucked in one last little hill. It's kind of them. Ooh. Prime example of why you got to keep your eyes open, because that's a pretty cracking view out there to Lake Rotorua. About the last sort of 300 or 400 metres, and just thinking about my bloody Achilles actually. Next thing I know, bang, over I go. So, throw the bloody GoPro away, skin on my hand, land on my knees, do a bit of a roll. Yeah. Need to pay a bit of attention, to be honest. Look at that, on these very, very well graded trails. Stop daydreaming. More pork. I don't know if you would have seen that, but yeah, there's a little more pork. It's pretty cool. I'd call that a trail of three halves. First part, which is sort of heading up the hill as you sort of start out towards the Blue Lake and then turn right. Pretty gnarly, pretty steep, and quite technical, rooty. After that you get to the top, and then you start heading down some very well graded mountain biking trails, which is probably the best part, to be honest with you. So real fluid trail running, and then finally what you have is mostly forestry roads on the way back down towards the to the car park here. So yeah, enjoyable run, it really is. Some reasonable views on the very last part, and some good forest scenery as well. But certainly well worth coming out there and having a look. Enjoy.